Welcome to Timekeeping. This show will attempt to chronicle year-by-year changes to the Walt Disney World Resort, from the excitement of a new ride opening to the minutia of a store changing names. Join us as we celebrate 50 years of the vacation kingdom of the world. In 2006, Walt Disney World was moving straight between one celebration to another. As 2005 saw the resort as the centerpiece of a celebration that should have been centered around Disneyland, 2006 would see a new promotional celebration spanning both resorts, the Year of a Million Dreams. Outside of the parks, Bob Iger was making swift moves as the new CEO and had purchased Pixar outright on January 25th. This would lead to 2006 seeing the closure of existing attractions to make way for more Pixar in the parks. That being said, a lot of it was already underway. The Year of a Million Dreams spanned across both U.S. resorts, Disneyland and Walt Disney World. Specially appointed cast members making up the Dream Squad would be given certain criteria to find guests and award them with prizes or dreams. These prizes included fast passes, pins, after-hours events, mouse ears, gift cards, cruises, a Disney Vacation Club membership, Adventures by Disney trips, Disney World and Disneyland vacations, a trip around the world to see every Disney park, at least at that time, and a stay in either the Cinderella Castle Suite or a offering at Disneyland Hotel. This new suite was built into the fourth floor of Cinderella Castle in a space originally intended as the Disney family apartment, although initially used as telephone operator offices. Guests enter the suite through the 24-hour-a-day manned concierge office to a private elevator. Even the office is highly decorated with homages to Cinderella's story, like Jacques and Gus carved into the stonework, a pumpkin tapestry, and a clock that is permanently set to just before midnight. After exiting the ornate elevator, the lucky guests will step into a lobby with a gold-inlaid mosaic floor of Cinderella's coach and her glass slipper, crown, and scepter on display. The suite itself contains 2 queen beds, a fireplace with fireworks effect, a sitting area with a pull-out couch, and a mirror TV. There's also stained glass windows and a bathroom with a separate shower and tub under multiple mosaics and an artificial night sky. To go along with the Dreams theme of the year, the Share a Dream Come True parade was turned into the Disney Dreams Come True parade. Also, Cinderellabration would close for a new castle stage show called Dream Along with Mickey. The parade was an updated version of the existing one, with new costumes for the Fab Five and friends, an added princess float between Peter Pan and the castle float at the end, in fact a float that was returning to the parade, and a new song taken from Tokyo Disneyland's Dreams on Parade Moving On. Starting on October 1st, guests could catch Dream Along with Mickey at the Castle Forecourt stage. The show began with the theme song as Donald, Goofy, Minnie, and dancers would decorate the stage and invite you to join the castle party until Mickey would come out the end of the song. Donald expresses that he doesn't believe in dreams, and Mickey asks the crowd for their dreams as canned audio asks to be a princess and a pirate. After Mickey asks the crowd for help, Snow White, Aurora, and Cinderella come out dancing with their princes. Everyone leaves except Goofy and Donald, who then summon Peter Pan with Goofy's dream of adventure. Pirate dancers come out to a pirate's life and dress the characters as Hook and Smee, somehow eventually calling out the actual Captain Hook and Mr. Smee. The threat of TikTok, not the app, but the crocodile, runs off the pirates, but Maleficent then appears and says her dream is that of nightmares coming true. Donald's new belief in dreams helps the characters and the crowd to defeat Maleficent by chanting over and over, "Dreams come true." The show was the first major use of the new articulated character faces, with moving mouths and eyes giving the so-called fur characters much more life on stage. Also added to Main Street was the Family Fun Day Parade, a mini cavalcade that would draft guests to ride the fire truck or march down the street waving flags alongside Disney characters. Moving over to Adventureland, Pirates of the Caribbean reopened with a major refurbishment on July 7th, with elements of the movie franchise added. Johnny Depp's Captain Jack Sparrow was added to 3 scenes, one behind a tailor's mannequin in the dunking scene, in the barrel in the chase scene, and draped across a chair in the final treasure room. Barbossa replaced the captain aboard the Wicked Wench in the bombardment scene, and some of the music and dialogue were changed to reflect these additions. Also, an effect with Davy Jones projected into a false waterfall wowed guests. Back in Frontierland, Woody's Cowboy Camp served as a mini parade and show. Jesse, Woody, and Bullseye would come out and start the dance in front of the Country Bear Jamboree with other cowboy-themed dancers. They would dance to a variety of country and folk songs, get kids to interact with She'll Be Comin' Round the Mountain, with adults playing the roles of the mountain and the other objects in the verses of the song that the children would weave through. They would also, of course, dance the Hokey Pokey. The short-lived Let's Have a Ball show was presented just behind the castle in Fantasyland on a new small stage just to the west side of the pass-through entrance. The happily ever after specialist or party planner, the Lady Lucinda, comes down from the castle to play party games such as Under the Sea Conga, Freeze Dance, and Simon Says. Aurora and Philip come out for a final dance with the host and meet with the kids dancing along. Over in Tomorrowland, the Timekeeper, which had been in seasonal operation for quite some time, permanently closed on February 26th, even though it hadn't been open to guests in ages. Tomorrowland also hosted the High School Musical Pep Rally, a show based on the Disney Channel original movie that performed the movie songs and dances as part of the East High Wildcats Pep Rally, of course with the audience dancing along. This, of course, fit in Tomorrowland because... who knows? Innoventions at Epcot would lose Opportunity City on November 1st and its KidCot stop in the east, while gaining Segway Central, an area where guests could test drive the titular two-wheeled, self-balancing scooters on a small course. Also, Cornell University's Too Small to See exhibit would debut, where guests would learn and interact based on molecules, chemistry, and nanotechnology. On April 12th, a second guest would die from aggravated pre-existing conditions after riding Mission Space. After this incident on May 19th, the ride was split into two versions, green and orange. Orange remained the original ride, the more intense version, while the spinning element was removed in green to lessen the thrill factor and stresses put on guests. This version still featured the same story and the tilt and pitch of the simulator, but the elimination of the centrifuge removed the gravitational forces that made guests ill. October 10th saw the reopening of the Living Seas as the Seas with Nemo and Friends Pavilion. Once just a small aspect of the pavilion, the sea cabs were transformed into the premier ride. They were clam-mobiles now, a new Omnimover attraction that somewhat serves as a sequel to Disney Pixar's Finding Nemo. Guests would enter through the original queue, now themed to a beach. Then as the queue would go on, they would sink lower into the ocean, passing under decor such as boats. Once on the clam-mobiles, they follow Marlin and Dory as they again search for Nemo, though now he isn't really that far and appears in almost every scene. Guests encounter Bruce and his shark pals, an animatronic anglerfish on a kuka arm that sometimes worked, the jellyfish forest, and a projection room allowing them to experience the East Australian current with Crush and his family. The finale scenes pass the actual aquarium, with characters projected onto the windows, appearing to be in the tank alongside the real fish. The song used would be Big Blue World, which we'll talk about again in this episode. The exhibit space of the pavilion was also rethemed, and Alpha was removed just to make it the sea base. Turtle Talk with Crush was eventually moved to the old second pre-show theater, with the Module 1A now serving as the queue space. A play area themed around Bruce the Shark and his wreck was added. The addition of IP felt like a clean update to the existing pavilion rather than being shoehorned in its defense. Its inspiration having long moved from a primetime network show to daytime syndication, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire Play It would close its doors on August 19th. Actually opening on December 9, 2005 at the Disney MGM Studios was Journey into Narnia, creating The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Like many of the predecessors in the preview space, the attraction was a combination walkthrough and film preview of the movie it was advertising. Guests entered through an oversized replica of the titular wardrobe in the frozen forest, while a highly shortened version of the film played. An actress portraying the White Witch would come out to speak her lines. After the film, guests would get to walk through an area featuring props and costumes from the film. Eventually, preview footage of the sequel, Prince Caspian, would be added. Having lost its original Disney home to the Lights Motors Action Extreme Stunt Show years before, the new, more cramped version of the Osborne Family Spectacle of Lights debuted on New York Street. In the Christmas season of 2006, they decided to upgrade the offering to make it more memorable. The change, partially thanks to an overall sponsorship deal with Siemens, became the Osborne Family Spectacle of Dancing Lights, sponsored by Sylvania. This new version used over 1,500 dimmer relay circuits to time the lights to a musical playlist that would start about every 15 minutes and repeat every hour. Trans-Siberian Orchestra's Christmas Eve and Feliz Navidad by Jose Feliciano were among the original selections of songs that changed through the years. The offering was an immediate smash hit, beloved by guests. Over at Disney's Animal Kingdom, Expedition Everest Legend of the Forbidden Mountain soft-opened in January, with an official opening on April 7th. The Vekoma-designed roller coaster is one of 3 buildings built around each other. The other 2 are the ultra-structure facade of the attraction, and the other the support for the Yeti. The Yeti audio animatronic stands 25 feet tall, features 19 actuators, allowing the Yeti 5 feet of horizontal movement when operational. More on that in a later episode. The coaster itself features 2 track switches that allow the train to switch from forward to backward movement and back again. The story of the ride begins in the queue as guests enter through a travel agency, temple, tea garden, and Yeti museum, all on their way to board a train to the Everest base camp. The train passes through a temple and then encounters ripped-up tracks before plummeting backwards through the mountain. Then it comes to a stop. At this point, a shadow projection of the mighty Yeti can be seen ripping up even more track. The train starts moving forward again and into an 80-foot drop before spiraling back in and out of the caves. The train enters the mountain a final time, encountering the full-size Yeti animatronic attacking the train as it passes, before exiting and riding back to the station and unloading through the on-ride photo purchase area and the Circa Zong Bazaar exit gift shop. Tarzan Rocks ended its run on January 21st. The theater in the wild was upgraded and enclosed, partially for guest comfort and partially because it was now positioned between 2 noisy roller coasters. The new show would premiere on November 5th as a completely original musical written by husband and wife team of Kristen Anderson Lopez and Robin Lopez. Lopez was the Tony-winning creator of Avenue Q, an adult Broadway musical that heavily featured puppets. Finding Nemo, the musical, would also be a puppet-based show, though in a unique way. It featured Rod, Bunraku, and shadow puppetry designed by Michael Curry, who was already responsible for the puppets for the Broadway version of Disney's The Lion King. Colorfully costumed performers would be seen singing and voicing characters that would be mostly stick-operated puppets they were controlling. Some of the larger puppets, such as Crush, Mr. Ray, and Nigel the Pelican, required secondary operators in addition to their primary voicing puppeteer. This 40-minute Broadway-style musical featured 14 original songs. While condensed, the show served as a good abridged version of the film and included all the main elements and set pieces. Some of the puppets were huge, such as Nigel standing over 20 feet tall, and Crush is larger than a family car. The show would go on to win the Thea Award for Best Live Show. The Polynesian Resort saw room soft good refurbishments following the structural work done the last few years. Captain Cook's temporarily moved to the Tangaroa Terrace location during its refurbishment. On April 2nd, the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique opened its first location at the World of Disney at Downtown Disney. Here, fairy godmothers in training would give princess and knight makeovers to children aged 3 to 12. Pleasure Island started to change to adapt to its new open policy. The West End stage and the Hub stage were removed in March, the former adding another pedestrian bridge to the west side, and the latter being replaced by a viewing area and dock. The Jessica Rabbit sign was removed in June. 2006 was a year that Pixar fully became part of the Walt Disney Company, and the parks very much reflected this, as would the next few years. New shows and attractions from Toy Story, Monsters Inc., and Finding Nemo were all opened or in the works. And the Year of a Million Dreams provided a new surprise element as well as plenty of entertainment to the parks on both coasts. It was a year that saw new leadership start to refurbish a company that had begun to stagnate, and 2007 would see the refurbishment of many marquee classic attractions. Well, time sure flies. Enjoying your jump from time to time with us? Well, please hit the like button and subscribe for more great content. You can support this show and others by joining the WDWNT Inner Globe Society at patreon.com/WDWNT. Get the perfect gear to celebrate 50 years of Walt Disney World at Carousel of Products by going to carouselofproducts.com. We'll see you real soon right here on Timekeeping.